Quickly on. So, all about notation, first of all, is divided into a few sections. For example, home, which is the one that we're currently in, introduction and how to use, advantages and disadvantages, comparison and advices, and last of all, conclusion. So, let's get to the next slide. So, introduction of notation. First, we have our mascot, Cat the Dragon. Ain't he adorable? So, girls, slow down. Anyway, what does this app mostly do? Well, it's to help users study more effectively. For example, it can help convert your notes into multiple choice questions and flashcards, making it easier to remember and review. For example, the word too long for something. Does anyone know the meaning? No one? That is okay, because there are the definitions right down here. This is a flashcard as presented. Like, for example, too long for something is something you don't understand, right? Well, nothing to worry about. Here's the definition. To want something very much, especially if it does not seem likely to happen soon, and additionally info signaling. So, it's one of our app's most released features. So, what are the target audience of Note? Well, it's obviously going to attract students like myself, professors and teachers. They can make flashcards that help students to learn English in ways they can do. People who need to review the academic knowledge. So it's basically normal for people who isn't a student or teacher, just someone who wants to learn English for fun. So, I'm going to ask you guys two questions. What is the importance of vocabulary learning? Does anyone want to give their opinions on this? No one? No one really? Fine, I'll choose. So, Rini, who looks smart? Go over there. In the blue top and white dress. White skirt, I mean. Yeah. Actually, you can answer it. Come on, anything is fine. So, what is the importance of vocabulary learning?
I think not just remember anything.
You know what? That is a valid opinion. That's good. Now, in my opinion, the importance of vocabulary learning is to provide a solid foundation. Because without a foundation, you can't do anything because, well, you don't have the basics. And with a solid foundation, you can be what? More confident in general communication. So I'm going to ask you guys a second question. What if vocabulary is learned incorrectly? Does anyone know the struggles of it? No one? Fine, I'll take it here. Girl in gray hoodie rewrote pink top. You. Right. The question is, what if vocabulary is learned incorrectly? Have you been listening? I'm sure you did. So please stand up, and I'm sure you can just any opinion is fine. Don't worry. You can do it. Take your time. You don't know. That is very surprising considering you asked me. Sit down and I'll ask someone else. So, actually, you know what? Let's get to the pleasantries. What if vocabulary is learned incorrectly? Well, in our opinion, is when you learn too many words at once. Like for example, you are trying to rush, like trying to learn, taking too many information at once. What happens? You forget literally almost everything because you are trying to cram everything in your mind and it results to what? You quickly forgetting and wasting your time. So, the main features of using notes or Note is creating flashcards. As in the few previous slides I showed you earlier, the two slides will give you a word and then their definition. The second one is noting down vocabulary. For example, you have a certain word you want to understand more or want to learn more about. Well, you can use the app to take a note. Summarizing content. For example, I'm sure every one of you guys are busy people, right? They have a job, school, homework, whatever. Well, with this app, it can help you summarize it, put it into details and then make it short. So you have to spend around 5 minutes to understand something. Very good. Having a flexible review mode. As I said, flexible, considering there are many ways to study them. For example, learn, practice test, spaced repetition, matching games, flashcards, and other many features. And learning English in many different majors, including acting, no, my bad. I mean, you can learn English in many majors. Like for example, you can learn English in engineering, or acting, artist, or whatever you can think of, even dentistry. So, how to use Notion correctly?